Good morning, everybody. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning on the 17th of November. It's a Sunday morning. Here in a few minutes, I'm going to drop my mooring line and be heading off to the north, probably to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Right now, it's pretty near dead flat calm. Water smooth, sky is clear, although there are clouds building in the east. So, according to Windy, should be a pretty easy passage going up north. Mostly under 20 knots of wind anyway. Anyway, that's the direction I gotta go. About west-southwest, I guess. I gotta go to the left of that island. There's a channel on the right side, but it's the north side of that island, but it's shallow and full of obstructions, so not the recommended way to go. Anyway, that's it until maybe later today. I'll make another report after I get out of here, get clear of Trinidad, and start heading north. Bye for now. Well, good morning again, everybody. It's still Sunday, about 10:30 in the morning. Had a little bit of excitement going out from the harbor. One of the water hoses on the engine got a hole chafed in it, and I had to replace that. To shut the motor down and drift around. Fortunately, I was out in an open space. Anyway, got that all put back together, got underway again. And now we're outside, a couple of miles. That's Trinidad, falling astern. Beautiful day. Wind is fairly light, 6 to 8 knots, and it's about east-northeast. I'm trying to make 20 degrees to go to windward of an oil island that's up ahead of me some distance, but I'm only about able to go due north, so I don't think I'm going to be able to make the course line to get to the windward side of that oil rig unless the wind shifts more easterly. Right now, seas are fairly calm, running maybe a meter or so. Just barely blowing a little bit of popcorn. So I'm going to say the wind's probably 6 to 8 knots. It seems like a little bit more because I'm running the motor. The nice thing is, with at least some wind, I got the double reefed main and the Yankee up. And the motor's ticking along pretty low speed, but I'm making 5 knots. So that's great. The distance up to where I'm going is 100 miles less than I thought it was, so that knocks a day off the trip. So even though I didn't leave Saturday, which was the plan, I'll still make it 6 days from now, maybe Saturday or Sunday later on this week. Anyway, just kind of getting into the routine of being at sea again. It's been 6 months since I've been out sailing, and I gotta say, I do love being out on the ocean. What I'm not a real big fan of is when there are things out there in the ocean I could run into. So I have to be a little cautious of that. I'm going to try and hold my course line as much to the east as is practical so I don't have to struggle at the end to get where I'm going. If I can stay upwind, I can always ease the sheets and ease the course off to leeward, provided the wind stays out of the east, generally speaking. Hopefully it doesn't go northeast, but stays in the east. It's a shame yesterday the wind was a little bit south of east. But by the time I got the boat all ready to go, after spending 2.5 hours of check-in procedure, or check-out procedure I should say, on Friday, and then having the afternoon rain for about 3 hours, made it so I couldn't get all my preparations done in time to leave Saturday. By the time I got everything done, it was almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I really didn't want to head out of the harbor with night approaching in only a couple hours. Plus, there were 2 big rain squalls that passed by just to the south, and one of them hooked around, once it got around the island, hooked around to the north. So it was almost blowing, raining, and gusty wind and dark skies and lightning and thunder, just about where I wanted to go. So I just said to heck with it. Spent Saturday night on the mooring, and got up and had to do a few things Sunday morning to get ready to go. Got the motor started, off I went. The water hose went bad, I had to replace that. Got underway again, so now hopefully it'll be clear sailing with conditions similar to this for the remainder of the trip. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Hello everybody. It's Monday the 18th of November, coming on towards noon. Off there in the distance is Grenada. The first day at sea has been a real mixed bag. Once I finally got out of the harbor and got going, it was some pretty nice sailing. Beautiful, clear skies for the most part. But the wind was a bit too north, about north-northeast, so I was thinking originally I would go up on the east side of Grenada, but no way I could make that, so now I'm going up the west side. And conditions sure were variable. I mean, I had some great sailing, 5 and 6 knots, interspersed with calm periods. Last night I could see, as I was approaching Grenada, I could see off to the northeast, big squall forming, which of course sometime after sundown, I got wrapped up in that. It wasn't too bad. 20 knots, a little bit of rain, but eventually I was down to just the Yankee, keep the boat from being overpowered, and with some ability to steer itself. In the wee hours of the morning, I got up and the sail was slatting a bit, and the wind was blowing from the west, quite light, but still blowing from the west. Eventually, as the sun got up, the wind stabilized again. It's about east-southeast now, something like that I would guess, but still pretty light, 6-8 knots. I'm making maybe 2.5 to 3 under sail. Sure glad I got a nice clean bottom and that new bottom paint, because it makes the boat pretty slippery, so it's not too hard to drive in these light conditions. The seas are starting to get a little more regular from about sunrise until just the last half hour or so. It's been real lumpy, bumpy, choppy, chunky out here. and just makes the boat go crazy with the bouncing around in all kinds of different directions, knocking the wind out of the sails. But as they get further away from the island, get out of the lee, conditions are stabilizing a bit. Because you know the waves come around each end of the island, they meet on the other side, and they're conflicting with each other, so you get that lumpy, bumpy, choppy, chunky stuff, and interspersed with light wind, no wind, gusty wind as the wind blows up over the mountains and around the ends. Anyway, I just keep going along here. I'm going to be pretty far offshore of any of the islands, at least temporarily. I wouldn't mind getting a little further to the east, but the course to where I'm going is actually more like about 350 or something, and I think I'm sailing about 10 degrees now. Anyway, not a bad day. A lot of high altitude hazy clouds up there. Not like the sky yesterday morning, which was almost completely clear, blue skies. Just kind of flopping along here. Got the single reef in the main and the staysail in the Yankee. I don't have the full main up because with the wind being on the beam, or a little bit after the beam, it generated a little too much weather helm. Anyway, that's it for today. Take care.